Hey everyone. So I just want to make a quick follow-up video to my previous one that introduced reusable masks. So this one is just a quick one about respirators. So the one I have here is a 3M half-face respirator. It's called a 6200 respirator. These ones I actually bought last year when I was covering the Hong Kong protests and to protect myself from tear gas. Uh, most respirators, they are designed to give you a very, very good seal on your face so nothing gets in or out from anywhere else other than the filters and the valves here. So these are probably one of the safest masks you can get, provided you can also get the requisite filters. Now, also, topic that I want to talk about is the new sort of culture of 3D printing masks and filters. Now, I'm not going to talk about 3D masks because I already have an existing one already, but I'm going to talk about these filters here, which look very cool. So they're printed by a guy here in Hong Kong called Neo Chan. You can check out his channel below. He's a 3D printing hobbyist, entrepreneur, and very good FPV drone pilot as well. So he gave me a set of these filters to sort of try out. And you can check out his videos too, but because nearly all of them are in Cantonese, so I thought I'll just do kind of like a complimentary video in English just to kind of show you these filters and how they work. There are quite a lot of 3D printed filter videos out there now, but none I have seen has a really intricate design like Neo's, and I want to show you how effective these filters are. Not in a scientific way, but at least it'll show you why Neo kind of created this design. So I'm just going to quickly break it open here just to show you. So that's the base here that screws into the locking mechanism. But here, so the idea is you need to use your own filters. I mean, the sort of the fabric filter that you see like these, or other HEPA filters or other sort of filters you can get your hands on. And the idea is you can cut out your own fabric filter and install it in here in Neo's filters, and then screw it back on. So I have some here already, which I own already, some 3-ply BFE and PFE filters that are almost the same material as your ordinary surgical masks. But the added benefit of using these on a respirator is you can be sort of comfortable that knowing that you have a very good seal around your face, because these surgicals, the greatest sort of disadvantage is they don't seal very well because they're not designed for that purpose. And that's why people recommend using N95s, because they offer the same or higher protection but also a very good seal. But then again, these respirators do have a much better seal than those disposable N95s, because you can adjust them, and there's a very easy way to sort of test how well it's sealed by sort of either covering the front valve and blowing out, or just cupping your hands on the filters and breathing in. So if you can't breathe in or out, that means it's a good seal. And with N95s, they don't really kind of have that way for you to test it, so it's kind of hard for you to know, unless you have very good experience already with N95s. These respirators are possibly one of the best consumer grade masks you can get right now. Yeah, so what you do is you cut out your filter, very small size, pop it in there, and pop this little bracket on, and then screw it on here. And there you have it, really. Now I've brought these other 3 filters as well. These are all manufactured by 3M. And these I know are kind of hard to get now. I just looked on Amazon today. Today's the 2nd of April. And they're not selling these to ordinary consumers anymore. They're only sold to certified medical, hospitals or specialists. So unfortunately, if you're a regular consumer, you're going to have to find another way to get these. But I just want to quickly compare these. Let's start with this one. So this is the 3M 60926, which is rated for acid and organic vapor. And on top, it also has a P100 filter. P100 is a NIOSH approved filter, which I think it filters out what they call 99.9% of all particulates. So that would presumably include droplets that may contain coronavirus. But why I'm not using these is because this is not scientifically proven, just my own opinion, is that you see that these filters, this is the front, that the valves for the filters, or the openings rather, they face outwards, right? So I think what that means for me is that if I do come in contact with any droplets, be it a sneeze or splash or whatever, these openings get exposed, right? So the liquid gets in. Now I don't really know what happens when it gets in there, because really the more important question is can you reuse it? How do you know that it's reusable, and how do you know when it's time to change the filter if it already has some sort of contamination of the virus on it, right? So I would feel quite vulnerable if I had to keep reusing this in this sort of coronavirus situation. So that's why I'm deciding not to use these. These are very good for tear gas, by the way. This one is another sort of one you'll probably see as well. This is a very simple P100. Again, similar to this, that's why it's pink. But this is just the sort of the fabric material without the added protection of the 60926. These, of course, if it's P100, it's better than an N95 because it filters at 99.9%. But the problem I have with this one is I don't know how water resistant it is, because it's a fabric material, like almost the same feel as your surgical mask. And I haven't done anything scientific or read any guidelines from 3M. I couldn't find it whether if it's safe to clean the front with a alcohol or a disinfectant wipe or whatever, because I would just presume that the droplets get absorbed through this fabric. And again, it's the same question with these ones, is how do I know if it's safe to reuse, right? So that's why, again, I'm not using the 3M manufactured ones. This one is a 3M 7093, which also has a P100, as you can see here. Now this one I kind of discovered quite recently, is that these were designed for wet and humid environments. Now you can see from the front, it doesn't have the valves or the openings like the 60926 and really a large majority of other 3M filters. This one is what I think is the air gets filtered through these gaps at the bottom. So the mask will be like this, right? So presumably these would protect you from any splash or droplets, because it only hits the front, and if it's plastic here, you can easily wipe it down or wash the front, so clean it from any possible contamination. Again, this is sort of a buyer beware. Like, I don't really know how safe it is to reuse these. Again, so that's why I'm not using these either right now. This is more of a last resort if I run out of any of the reusable filters. But that's a viable option if you want to go that way. So now I'm going to show you how these how NIOSH filters will sort of protect you from droplets. So I'm going to do a simple test here by spraying a blue dye liquid onto the filters to simulate, in case you ever get sneezed on or some sort of splash. And then I'm going to spray it on the actual filter itself. As you can see, the fabric filter inside is not touched at all, even though I've sprayed the liquid, continuously at the front and from different angles. So yeah, so you can see here it does protect you from direct contact from droplets. And I'm not trying to say that this design beats all other 3D filter designs. It's not a competition. The internet is all about sharing knowledge, but I'm just trying to show you here what Nia has done and his amazing design, and hopefully it can help you out or help other designers out too.